Hi, everyone. So I thought I would just kind of quickly review the essay organization we talked about in today's review session. If you weren't there, hopefully this should help you. So the task you're going to get in the exam is to explain how a theme is developed in Macbeth. Now, this is going to take the form of a basic essay, very similar to the Inspector Calls essay that we worked on, at least organizationally. I think there are two different ways you might approach this task. There are other ways, but these are the two that strike me as the most effective and actually the most obvious. So what I've got here is two different plans. And at the top, what you can see is an intro paragraph. And in that intro paragraph, you can go back. There's some of the materials that review what you should put in an intro paragraph. But basically, you're just going to give some necessary context and some necessary background information and then state your thesis. Now, depending on how your argument is going to unfold, you might use one of two organizational structures. One is to organize your essay by literary element, and the other method is to organize your essay by major moment from the text. So first, let's quickly review method number one, organizing by literary element. So if you do this, these represent body paragraphs here. What you would do is in your first body paragraph, you would have some sort of topic sentence that says, Shakespeare develops this theme using plot or using characterization or using whatever literary element you choose. Now, in that paragraph, like all sorts of argumentative paragraphs, you're going to have a topic sentence, you're going to provide two examples, and those examples are sort of big chunks of example. Will, if you want, use that claim, context, quote, explanation structure we've worked on for most of the year. And, this whole point of this paragraph is to show how plot, in this case, is related to whatever your thesis is. So make that clear when you wrap up your paragraph. Then you would go on and have another body paragraph in which you talk about a different literary element. Shakespeare also developed, and this is my example of a topic sentence, Shakespeare also develops the theme of revenge is ultimately unsatisfying. It's not really a theme of the story, but revenge is ultimately unsatisfying through characterization. And again, you go into a couple of big examples, claim, context, quote, explanation, really prove that it's true, and tie it back to your thesis. And then you have a closing. And in your closing, you can briefly summarize the main points of your argument and then try and do something new. Maybe make a comment, a prediction, or a suggestion about Macbeth, something like that, or maybe a connection to the contemporary world. The second way in which you can organize your essay is, the same type of intro, but then maybe you're going to do it by major moment from the play. So perhaps you talk about one really significant moment. Maybe this moment happens to be, the scene when Macbeth returns from having killed Duncan, and Lady Macbeth confronts him and is really upset by the fact that Macbeth brought the daggers back and couldn't really do the job the way a real man should. So you will have a topic sentence that obviously in some way links this moment or states that this moment develops the thesis. And then you're going to go into a lot of depth about how this particular moment develops the thesis. And you will have a couple of examples from that moment that really show that that's true. Then you'll move on to another body paragraph in which you do it again for a different moment from the play. And then you wrap it up in the same fashion you would have wrapped up things if you had used method number one. So this chart just demonstrates two methods you can use to effectively organize an essay. Again, essay writing is not necessarily a mechanical thing, so there are a host of different ways you can do this. But I think these two methods get at all of the things that you really need to get at if you want to do well on the task and express yourself. So that's it. I hope this was helpful, and see ya.